Hi, how are you? I'm fine. I've got a few numbers here and looking at and considering. I mean, what you got to realize that when prophecy is fulfilled, it's either done by works, okay, or it just appears naturally, okay. And there's numbers and things that got to line up. It's just a lot of calculations and looking at shit. That's why probably in the Revelations it said, "Let him who hath understanding, recognize the number of the beast." It's a human number, six, right? Six in each spot on that Trinity. But anyway, so we're expecting Apophis to come back. And it just happens to come back on my mother's birthday. And she would have been exactly 100 years old on that day when it's supposed to come back. So when Apophis, that big rock, is supposed to get here, yeah, she would have been 100 years old. And you got to remember, there's weird things about my family. Yeah, very weird things. My mom's birthday is exactly 4 days before my daughter's birthday. But the thing about my daughters is that they, like their grandmother, were born and buried on the very same day, their birthday. My mom, what was that? You see, it was weird because you flip the digits of the year of her birth, reverse them, and that was the year she died. And then my girls, they are the exact opposite of my birthday, my twins. But there is exactly 50 days in between my mother's birthday and Apophis showing up. And I did see, and I say accidentally, but you got to imagine this, right? I'm out in my backyard with a 350 millimeter zoom lens, and I'm trying to take a picture of what looks like a really bright star, right? And, I don't have time to set up a telescope. You got to, it's too much alignment crap, right? And it's not like you can go, you can do like a polar alignment where you bang off a few stars, stick the numbers in a database. There's only one spot you can be sitting and see what you can see. It's why you can navigate by the stars. So it just kind of does it in reverse, right? Use a computer. And but I went out there and I took a picture, and then I, zoomed in as much as I could. Guess what? It wasn't a star. It was a freaking rock. It was like an asteroid, giant. This thing was freaking monstrous and was bright green. Okay. And then that night they said something skipped off, off the atmosphere over Florida, a green, but I have pictures. I got pictures of this thing. And it's like, because, it's like, instead of looking through a telescope and going, "Oh yeah, I saw it." No, man, I took pictures. And I just rattled them off, and I caught it right at the end. Where my, the thing took off. It started to like curve and fly away. But what I realized is it's just kind of sitting there. I think it's sitting there. And what I actually witnessed was we kind of flew away from it, So it kind of looked like it was departing, but it was because us being on the planet, we were moving away from it. So we had passed it. And so I don't know what this thing is, but like, if it's sitting there like that and we're going around the sun and it kind of moves, a certain way, either it's, You know, you now got to take gravity, and I know it seems like it's almost like you're juggling too much information all at once, right? But I'll try to make it simple. Watch. I got to take my position, and I got to watch this other thing fly away and arc into a specific direction, right? I have to assume one of two things is going on. It's either beyond my orbit, and as I pass it, right, it curves what? It'll actually, as I start to go past it, depending on the length of my orbit, I pass it enough, it's going to start switching sides. I pay attention to how that's doing that, and I can tell if that object is stationary or mobile, depending on what it does. And it's weird because if it's mobile, it has to be in my path, right? For it to be stationary and maybe even traveling at the same speed, right? It's just kind of growing or shrinking, right? But as soon as I kick it off to either side, now it's not in my path and I got a difference in speed and direction I can kind of deal with, right? So now I just realize, okay, I went this way, and then I just have to imagine myself kind of doing one of these, and which direction did that thing go? And it went out. It was moving away from where I was curving, so it had already passed whatever this thing was. And it was green, and it was really weird looking, and it had you can even see the craters on it. It's like a big you know what it looked like? A giant green potato. But if you search through my comments line, you'll find it. And I didn't know who in the hell to tell. And it happened of all things. It happened on April Fools at 10 o'clock at night. And I'm like, my wife was there. She saw it and everything. But there you go. All right, I decided, man, the next portion of this broadcast will be brought to you by Cherry Pie from Southern Tier Brewing Company. It's an Imperial Ale, 8.6. It's up there. And there you go. But I'm not done with the numbers thing yet, man. Oh, no. There's more. There's even more to this as it goes, okay? April 13th is also another day in our family. It just happens to be my sister's birthday. And She is Aries, the ram, because of her birth sign. I am a ram because of my schooling. That's my high school. I am a ram, Revis ram. And actually, when I was in high school, would be the first place that I saw God's hand move. And I didn't even know it because I didn't know God. I was, well, you have to serve a God. That's the two masters, right? And the thing is there's only one God. So he kind of forces you in service of a God that you don't know, but he'll reveal himself to you later, right? When it's saying blot the name out, that name is still there, okay? You're not blotted out. You just don't see it anymore. It's still written. But that's her birthday on April 13th. Oh man. Yeah. But when I was in high school, which is weird because, I look back at my life and it was not an easy life, I would be denying, like, what did that guy say? I have transcended reality. It's like, wow, what kind of beer is that guy drinking? Holy crap, it must be good. Yeah, no, that's actually my buddy Eddie talking. Sorry, Freddie. But yeah, my life just seems like designed. Even the idea of my mom sending me away, all the things that happened to me because of that, all mirroring Jesus's life. No, I'm not Jesus. I'm Christopher Masante, but I am on a mission from God. I said that. I said that for the longest time. And the things I did, man, I rescued these girls that had, I used to love the crazy, I don't know, Holy Spirit days, I guess you'd call it, right? Man, I could just run around wild, just, they'd say, okay, he's manic, get him some meds. But it was like the things I was able to pull off. But I mean, in a George Carlin kind of way, I guess I was more than happy. But, it was like, you know what it was? I had no freaking fear of anything. Nothing. I had zero fear, 100% love, and able to be like dumped out like a freaking barrel, and the things that I did, like there was one time when things where it seemed like I beat time. I traveled time or something, because I'm sitting in a place, I'm looking at my watch going, I'm going to be late for work. I'm just certain. I see all the traffic. I've been here before, and I'm going to stop and change somebody's tire. What? Because I saw a license plate that said 666 on it, and I'm not going to let the devil beat me? I'm going to tell you something. Your devil is inside of you. If you feel fear, it's proof of it. And what happened? That's the magic of the thing. I inexplainable. Well, one explanation. Sorry. He knows my heart, so I don't worry. But like, I'm going to. Did I just say but like? Somebody's going to take that and clip that out. You know that? Like when somebody says, "Okay, so," and then they're like, "He was worshiping cheese." But I see this pickup truck as I'm on my way to work. I'm all backed up at this light. I'm like, and I'm even in the wrong lane. I gotta somehow figure out how to get over, because I'm gonna start trying to inch, because you know how it is. Last minute, you got to be a jerk and get in there. And everybody else had the same idea that day. I'm gonna leave just a little bit earlier, and your plan fails. And here you are with all the other early risers. No brick upon another. Nobody going nowhere. But I look, and there's this lady. She's in a wheelchair, in her car, outside the back of her car with the trunk open, in a wheelchair. And people are just like, I mean, how that light was a gift from God. How in the hell anybody could look over and just see that woman and not do something? And what did I need? I needed a stupid license plate with 666 on it to tell me, don't let the devil defeat you. And you know what I know now? That shit's inside of you. If you don't step up to the plate 100% love, you failed. You failed our God. And you know what? It doesn't matter. He loves you still. He understands. Why was that lady stuck on the side of the road with all this stuff happening? Was it her or her kids that sinned? And it's like, no, it's so the works of God could be displayed, right? Jesus said we do greater things in him. When you see somebody, it doesn't mean you have to, dumb down the miracles. He's in the tiny things, right? It's not about the raging storm, right? But I'm going to tell you something. The weird thing is when he's inside of you like that, that's what it feels like. It feels like a tornado of love is just taking you over from the inside. And you don't fear anything, not even death. It's like what matters. There's something in there. That's weird. So what do you think? Do you think my mom is going to send a Pappas back to pick up her kids for my sister's birthday? That would be interesting, huh? I said when I died, I didn't want to feel anything, and he's given me every wish I've asked for so far. Man, I got tools and junk everywhere, and I can't find a damn. Oh, here we go. Yeah. Take a pan, son of man, and set it in between you and the city. Oh, wow. That'll leave a mark. I was looking for a bottle opener. I found one. I just need to see if I can get it to work. Oh, are you that bad? Come on. Whoever designed this pan had to have envisioned this. I mean, this is like old school. There we go. Simple. Here's to my God and your God, the only God, who's the God of all gods, including you. Yeah, we read the scriptures wrong because Jesus gave us the key right there. He said, if he called them gods to whom the word came, and then John calls them the word. So what does that mean? Does it mean you're a god? Well, he also told us all the particulars of it, right? He didn't consider it something to be grasped. So if you said, yeah, I'm a god, are you like, whoa, in all your glory? Or are you just like, it's just how I'm described in this book of a law that can't be broken and that we wrestle and fight against? Oh, man. It's all in there. It's such a pity. How long will you suffer? Why do the nations rage? And it's just because each person doesn't realize that they are a nation. When he said, I'm going to make you a great nation, it's referring to literally you. Well, but every country has land. You're built of it. Anyway, so yeah, April 13th. That's my sister's birthday. How old would she be? I have no idea. All I know is I saved her life. Wasn't looking good at one point there for us that day. Oh, wow. That is very cherry. We'll pause for a commercial announcement. Today's broadcast brought to you by Cherry Pie. Cherry Pie from Southern Terror Brewing Company. Get local, get the best. That's not their thing. I'm just making shit up as I go. Yeah. Very interesting. If I go from my sister's birthday to her own birthday, then it's 46 days, which is, let's see, 46. Well, that's the year of my birth backwards, which is the year of the dragon. Looks like a sheep, speaks like a dragon. Hi. You were expecting a mean guy, weren't you? Oh, he said, I will come to you as a thief in the night. Talk about an arrow hidden in his quiver, huh? But you are too. Anybody is. I don't know. Like when Job says his arrows are in me, those arrows work two ways. They can either be poisonous or they can be, remember Cupid? Did you ever wonder about that? How did we lose our connection here to our own God? $22.33. Yeah, my mom sent me away, so I got to leave home, around that age. And then everybody was kind of wondering where the hell I was because I wound up living on the streets. I got tossed out. It's not as bad as it seems. If you really want the truth, I didn't want to come back here under any circumstances. I did not want to have to come back to New York because I just loathe this place. And now I have many reasons, even more still. There goes the story out the window. And I can't remember what I was going to say. I'll mention one thing and it'll lock my brain solid. Why? What's the point? I think what happens is there's going to be there will be people that can function under the idea that Yahweh is evil or whatever. I'm not saying he's evil. He creates it. It says that, right? And we see evidence of that in the scriptures, right? Why would Joshua say that? If you feel it's evil to serve the Lord, and it's like, hello. Why would they think that? Because they must have misunderstood something. They misunderstood. And so what happens when you misunderstand? That's there's two different kingdoms. One is laughter. Yahweh's not evil. It's a misunderstanding. So it's like that. You can see that in the name Ishmael. Ishmael. It's man and El, which is God, with a big question mark right in the middle. Ma. I happen to live in the only part of the world, it seems, where we call our mother our ma. And I know that because after burying my mom for her birthday, when I went back to California, my girlfriend, a couple months later, she caught me crying on the first Mother's Day. And she says, "What's the matter with you?" And I said, "I miss my ma." And she said, "You're what?" And I said, "My ma." "You're what?" She didn't know what the hell I was talking about. She was just looking at a guy crying, and she was one of these women, like just men don't do that. And I said, "My mom." She didn't understand. And it was funny because I'm going, "Ma, my ma," and she's going, "What?" And like we were talking in Hebrew and we didn't even know it. "Ma, what?" "Yeah." "Ma, what?" "Yeah." Ma means what in Hebrew? That's the question mark in Ishmael. So now any place you see M-A, it's got a question going on there, right? That H, that H that makes any Hebrew word feminine, that AH, guess what? That has two sides to it. Because if you add it to a word, it makes the word a woman. If you add it to the word, it makes the word feminine in context. But the word itself, AH, means brother. Now consider there were never any vowels in Hebrew. Well, that H is really weird, isn't it? The language is complex, but it's not impossible. And these people won't realize how bad we're screwed. We can't break this thing. It's just going to keep. We either live with it, it's the beast. The mark of the beast, I guess, is like you're chewed up a little bit. Yeah. Hey, what happened, Roy? Do you remember the moths? I don't. Where the hell did I see that? Oh, it was a cartoon. Oh, it was cute. You'll love it. Watch. So like the male moth comes home and his wife is waiting for him at the door, right? And the wife is like sitting there waiting for him, and she's pissed. And she's like, "Were you at the Johnson's porch light again?" And he's like all beat to hell, right? He looks all trashed and whatever. And it's like, you got to think about it. It's like one of them jokes that, and it's like, but you know what moths do when the light is on? They're just like, they're literally smacking themselves into the mountain, man. Just can't get it. You can't touch it like that. You can't touch it. It comes from inside of you. And once it's outside, if you mess with it, disaster, good or evil. You just don't, you got to see it for what it is. Some people will only learn in that way, and that's the mode we're in right now. This whole place, it's really depraved. We're doing nothing that Jesus said to do. Feed your enemy, clothe your enemy, pray for your enemy. Yeah. Pray for them. Yeah, we're over the target. Say your prayers. Yeah, that's how we pray for our enemy. We're so going down. Wow, 50 days, huh? I should find those pictures again and try and post them. I know I got them somewhere. And don't forget, if you're a Facebook fan, you better download all your crap because they're going to kick you off on 7/6 or something like that, I think. July 4th, maybe? Maybe it's the 4th of July. They'll be free of the burden of storage. And then what? Then they'll have some space. They'll be actually be able to roll out some AI. And don't worry. They'll keep your data. But without you able to touch it and modify it on the fly, it's now static. Anything that doesn't move, you can analyze. Once it starts moving, forget it. That's the Sabbath. Okay, that's the rest between everything that's what? Made and created. What was made? Peace. What was created? Well, it says evil, but any version you want to look at, it's a rest between peace and what? Calamity, strife, adversity, war, evil. Okay, call it what the hell you want. Stop like watering down the drink. Suck it up. Put it in your cup. Enjoy. You ordered it. Hey, waitress. Damn, look at her. What the hell's that thing on her forehead? It says mystery. Huh. Oh, that big old question mark again. Ma! Now they'll call somebody for me, right? Oh, he's in there. He's lost his mind. He's shouting for his mother. Shit. Where I am right now, if I had a time machine, I would at least, in the least, remove myself from any responsibility of having failed to deliver a successful message by traveling back in time and shooting my mother in the head before I'm born. No, that wouldn't be fair. Well, I don't know. I don't know who I would take out. My dad, he was like a damn virus, he just, that guy, man, what a whore. He really was. But you know what? He loved women, and I'm the same damn way. I know, I understand him, I guess, now. You meet women, you love them, and then even no matter what they do to you, you just still love them, right? I think he was just searching for the perfect one, and then he found her. Eventually, he found a woman in his last years of his life, and I'm the last of his kids. But yeah, he ran off with a trapeze artist. He needed that, I mean, I can imagine the bedroom with this guy. He was messed up. But he was still my dad. And we think that the commandments where it says honor your father and mother is about your earthly father. It's about honoring the two fathers, whichever that might be, because the son always does what he sees his father doing. Sons of God, sons of perdition. Man, we totally screwed this book up. And you know what did it? Pride. I think that word "very good" did us in, right? Very good. And we think that means like special good, but we don't realize that when you can use when that good can actually use evil to make more good, oh, that's a very dangerous thing. You see what I'm saying? Did you catch that? When that very good can use evil to make good, that's a dangerous thing. And you know why? Because evil is created. Where then, when God rests, did that evil come from? Yep. Us. We reintroduced a state of unrest and knocked balance off of something that we really have no control over. We don't write the laws of God. He just gives them to us and we live by them, whether we know it or not. We either serve a God we know or we serve a God we don't know. It's sovereignty. I shouldn't be laughing. Look at this place, right? Look at this place. And I shouldn't be laughing, but it's like I feel like the biggest joke has been pulled over on us. It's pitiful. And so what does that make me? Yeah, the jerk that can, figure out riddles. Well, but his peace will only last 3.5 years. And it's like, that 3.5 is just half of 7. It's however long it goes. It could be 3.5 minutes. Okay? Man, wow. Wow. What is this we have done indeed? He had all authority from heaven. We got all authority in heaven. Remember when he said, go rule over the fish of the sea and the bird, you know? And we were supposed to rule over that with him as our ruler. And then, no, well, that didn't work. So then, well, you don't fear me. There's more of you. Maybe if they fear you, you can figure it out. Just you still got to run by my rules. Make the many. Here we go. Nope. And that was done in the times of Noah. The fear and dread of everything will be of us. You. Well, what does that mean? That means that everything now is, we've then become gods. Sons of God. That die like men. Should that matter? No. If you really believe in what you believe, you'd be working anyway, like myself. I'll roll some dice. Lock. Oh. Uh-oh. You ready? I gotta grab them. We can't get away. You understand what I'm saying? Help somebody. Is there anybody out there that really believes in the power of God? Any freaking buddy, anybody? Or do you just, are you waiting for it to show up? I said it, didn't I? It's math to me, mathematics. When you have everything and you cut it in half, you got two pieces. It's we are at the mercy of a book. The word is God. You know what's weird is John did say the word was God. Was, is, will be. That's really smooth. No bite at the back end. It almost tastes, it's inspired by Perry's ice cream, which is a local ice cream, a creamery, I guess they call it. Yeah, man, talking about creameries, boy, I can't wait till I go. I'm gonna pass through Illinois. So over there, I'm hoping that Oberweis, the guy who tried to run for governor, I don't even know if he made it, actually. I know he tried to run, but I hope Oberweis is still running, because like they had this milk that they would put on the shelves that was, they didn't take the cream out of it. And so it was like, you know how it was like you got 2% milk? Well, this is like 4% extra. And you drank it. It was like, I don't know, man. There was something about it. It was like drinking olive oil or, you know, motor oil, something thick, honey, right? Oh, it was just satisfying. And probably because it had so much fat in it, you know, that's what it is. Even in the US, our food pyramid is screwed up because we tried to deny God. You know, go and grab a diet plan from some nation that's, you know, fasting because of Lent, and they're hardcore about it, right? That's a starvation diet. So that's what we've been living on since whenever that thing was invented. That needs to go. That's screwed up. And I mean, you could either say that, or you could say, well, it was a conspiracy. What are we going to do in all this grain over here? Right? I say ship it around and share it with everybody, and everybody cooperate. Different parts of the world, you can do different things. There's no reason to take it over. As soon as everybody starts taking shit over, what happens? You need police. You need, damn. Why is it so hard to understand the cost of conflict? It's bullshit. It makes me want to wipe out all the people that are into conflict so that there'd be no conflict. And I don't have to do anything like that because it's exactly what God does. He says he gives you the desires of your heart. If those are the desires of your heart, the dead will bury the dead. You cannot fight this book. And we killed somebody that we should not have killed. Big mistake. We brought a curse on ourselves. He was cut off in the midst of his teachings when he could have, I don't know, see what I see maybe, right? Yeah. We think thief in the night means, some explosive, ta-da, there he is. No, it's come and go. The sifter, the bad guy. Where you been as a thief, Jesus, going up and down on the earth and back and forth through it? Right in here. That very same breath of life. You and me. There's a light in the darkness, and that light is the life of man. Turn the light on, I guess. Figure it out. So Apophis comes back, and this was what it did at first. First, I wanted to see how many days between my daughter's birthday and my sister's birthday, and January, February, March. Yeah, I don't know why, but it assumed that because I was asked. I don't even know why the hell it did this. Both those dates are past. But all I said was how many days, February 26th to April 13th. Seems pretty straightforward, right? It tells me 411 days. February 26th, 25 to April 13th. Okay, why? Well, but the funny thing is I got two birthdays and a stature. I got my girl's birthday, I got my sister's birthday, and my mom was 4'11". It's like, I'm sorry. I guess my brain is just so cluttered up with information. I can pretty much associate anything with anything, including light with dark. But I would recommend a book for that procedure. It's a good one. Cut you to pieces, I promise. It's expected to make a very close flyby on the 29th. Now, that's on her birthday. And then I think it comes back a second time, right? In 30? Uh, 2036. Oh, wow. That's a ways out. 2029 to 36 is how many years? What is that? 29, 30. That's 7 years. So 7 years later. And when's it come by then? Date. March 30th. Is that when I got out of the Corps? No, it was the 3rd or the 4th. 3-4? The 4th. 30, huh? 3, 4:30. 3:30. 3, that's 6, and 2 is 8, and 3 is 11, And 6 is 17. And that is the crushing number of victory for God. 5.2 million miles. Twenty times the distance. 52 is like weeks. Data from NASA's Goldstone Solar System radar. What the hell is that? Now that's worth looking up. Let's see what's protecting the joint. NASA's Goldstone Solar System radar has ruled out any possibility of impact on April 13th, 2036. Excuse me? April 13th, 2036? The same day, 7 years later? Why? What the hell are they mentioning March for? It will pass. Are they hoping that you'll stop reading or something? Because I got to be honest, right? Approximately 8.4 million kilometers, which is 5.2 million miles, on March 30th, 2036, which is more than 20 times the distance between Earth and the Moon. While there is a very small chance of impact in 2036, data from NASA's Goldstone system, blah, blah, has ruled out any possibility of an impact on April 13th, exactly 7 years later. Are you ready for the tribulation? Guess when it starts. Happy birthday, Mom. Oh, she could hand it out. Did you know that my mom would beat her children with a cat of nine tails? She could work you over. Oh, yeah. You should see what she did to the man who found me. Yeah. His name was Samuel Hunter. And I think she drove him to drink, is what I think. Ultimately, he paid the price and was found frozen to death in his truck, homeless, on Christmas Day. I saw him exactly 1 year earlier, and he helped me deliver newspapers. I remember it because he brought me a set of walkie-talkies. I was trying to raise money as a paper route, at like 8 years old, trying to save his house for him. Oh, I guess if I were to scroll down. But Apophis will not strike us in 2029 for a time. For a time, initial observations suggest that if Apophis passed through a region of space only half a mile wide, I like them numbers, half, about 800 meters, all round numbers, dubbed a keyhole by astronomers at the 2029 pass, then it might strike us exactly 7 years later on April 13th, 2026. A keyhole, huh? Talk about a door open in heaven. Wow. And see, here's what the Spirit of God will do. During this time, if we're not found worthy, sorry, I don't know if you hear that. If we are not found worthy, we won't be able to find our way out of whatever might be coming if we need to stop it. That's how he works. place of the skull. They perish for lack of knowledge. Doesn't mean this junk in here. It means what is coming out of here as fruit. When a man knows a woman, she bears fruit. If your God knows you, you will bear his fruit. When they see you, they will see him. The son always does what he sees his father doing. If you're not showing that fruit, you're not of him. Checkmate. Oh, it's a Sunday. It would be the Lord's day, according to some people. What the hell is that? Why does the calendar stop at 2036? What the hell is this? I'm just looking at Google now, okay? The calendar ends in 2036 due to a programming bug. For some reason, there is an issue when trying to debug code when creating a calendar past 2036. Hi, fellow time travelers. It's the only way for us to fix it. It's really going to be bad. And then we just keep, we just push time back again. Yeah, the whole, we shouldn't have done all that. It's real. You can't actually travel through time. How do you think all this shit gets set up? How do you think everything in my life is like a pinprick in a checklist? Father was a carpenter and a fisherman and also a volunteer fireman. Mother's name means sorrows. Born in Buffalo, New York, the city of light. Buffalo's an ox. Oh. You know what I started to tell you about that's pretty cool? When I was in high school, though, this is really awesome, man. Like, you got to think of how this, I don't know what the hell happened to this kid. He's really bummed out, but I think about it, and it's like doctors convinced him that he would never walk ever. And he hobbled around like Forrest Gump on them damn crutch brace things all over his legs. And he had those machine gun crutch things, on his arms and whatever. And, he's kind of struggling around with a backpack and everything, going through high school, just doing what he's doing. And I don't know, man. I didn't look at him like that. He was my friend. And we were just screwing around, and I happened to throw him down the stairs. Well, I didn't throw him down the stairs, but he fell down the stairs. I should have been more careful, right? With my crippled friend. Well, guess what happened to my crippled friend? My crippled friend, his crutches broke and his braces broke. And it takes a while, right? Oh no, we got to make them. They're custom made. We got to cut these rods to this length. No, just, let him, we'll figure it out. Get him in here. We'll remeasure. He's probably growing, whatever. Politics, money. Bam. Just like that. Mark of the damn beast. There you go. But you know what happened? Well, because I felt like dog shit, I helped the guy out. And you know what? He actually learned how to walk. And then he was so damn happy that he learned how to run. And he even convinced me to join the school's cross country team. I miss my buddy, man. Dennis McClintock, Dennis Paul McClintock Jr. And like, you know what sucks? His family's blown apart, man. He's like all by himself right now. His mom died, his dad died, his sister died, and she was younger than him. He had a little sister. And I don't know, man. I think she had a bad diet or something. Just her complexion didn't look right to me when I saw pictures of her. She was kind of red and, you know, I don't know what the hell was going on. There was, you know, me strip all the medication out, let your body run on whatever it's running on, and then see, right? Because what we don't realize is once you start tweaking things, some of these things aren't really cures. They're just more like antihistamines to stop a particular response that your body is doing. And then guess what happens? Your body pushes around it. You see it happen to old people all day long. They get one med, and then that one seems to take care of this, but then they need two more for these other things that popped up like mushrooms. Whack-a-mole is not, medicine isn't supposed to be a practice. Okay. Sorry. But here you go. How very interesting. What date is doomsday? Dare I click? You know what? Can I tell you when doomsday is? You ready? Are you ready for this? I'm going to say something profound right here. Do you want to? I'll tell you exactly the day. You want me to tell you exactly the day when doomsday is? I do know that day. Ready? Can you see? Let's check it out. What you see? 2 8s. What's in the middle though? Oh, 9. That 9. I'm a 9. I'm actually 999. I'm a 666 that was flipped upside down. Lock. How does it do that? What do you see? 666. I don't know what it is. It's freaking me out. It's inside of all of us. It's got to be. It's inside of everybody. However all this was created, our God, that power, our Bible, our languages, the cup of coffee that you drank this morning, everything, every single thing is moving through this everywhere. And the book shows you as much of it as it can, right? John alluded to that, all right? He alluded to that. He said, if all the books couldn't contain all the things that it does, right? And again, I said it, because to me, it's like a math equation. Does sigma mean everything? Hold on. The 18th letter of the Greek, 18th. Why 18th? Translated as blah, mathematical sum. That's what it is. Sigma is everything. The universe. And our book, I mean, I can totally see why like a philosopher, somebody deep, all these, whoever, I can't read any of these books. I got some of them. I got Homer, the Iliad, and the Odyssey. Is that the only one I got? I got Origin of Species. I got one by Theodore Roosevelt, Fear God and Take Your Part. Faithful Are the Wounds. Mark Twain. Who the hell's that guy? The Life and Times of Jesus, Edersheim. Yay. And I got these books, but I can't read these things, but I know they're important. I can't read. It's not fair. He doesn't want us to read is all I can figure. Configure. It's all he wants from us. He doesn't want us to read out of books. The laws should be written on your heart. If they're not written on your heart, we're never going to get there. It's that, damn easy. It's like lying to a calculator, or trying to, right? Getting in a battle with a math equation. You want to know what I envision, that we do these great works that we're supposed to do, like Jesus accused us of, right? We're supposed, we were told that we would do greater things. When is that going to happen? Did he set the bar so impossibly high that there's just no chance for us, or what? I don't think that's true. I think what's happened is we've loaded too much on one guy. And that load should be distributed. Okay. If you believe, if you are one of these Moses Law people, then I guess you could appreciate that then, right? You understand? So there you go. I'm going to get out of here. I love you guys. Shalom. Shalom.